New York Times. He penned an interesting op-ed recently where he declared that it's time for the U.S. government to apologize for slavery. And what better person to deliver that message than President Obama? He writes, quote, "The first black man to live in the White House, long hesitant about doing anything bold on the color divide, could make one of the most simple and dramatic moves of his presidency. Apologize for the land of the free being at one time the largest slaveholding nation on earth." Egan went on to say on the air with CNN's Don Lemon and explained his reasoning a bit further.
I just think it could be so redemptive and so powerful and so moving. You wouldn't have any hassle from Congress. There'd be pushback from people, of course. But for a man who's the leader of what was once the largest slaveholding nation on earth to say, "I apologize for what we did in America's original sin." Other nations have done it. The Vatican has done it.
And Sirius XM radio host Joe Madison, well, he disagrees with Egan.
And let me make something very clear. There is no way that the first African-American president or that the first African-American president should be the first president of the United States of America to apologize for an institution that was based on white supremacy. That should be the next white president.
Well, we want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the president should apologize for slavery? Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments, newsmaxtv.com/comments, and let us know. Okay, Rothman, where do you come down on this?
First of all, I want to remark on that remarkably balanced panel, liberal and more liberal.
I like CNN to do that.
Yeah, and then Don Lemon in the middle, really setting the balanced tone there. No, this is a remarkable conversation to be having. It's as though we don't really understand much history. President Bill Clinton apologized for slavery. Egan mentions it in this column, but very briefly. He says he apologized for the slave trade while on
when
a
did
trip
this happen? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
1998.
98. Well, it's still
on
not
a trip to Africa. In 2008, the United States House adopted a resolution apologizing for the institution of slavery. Signed it. President agreed with it. This has been done, and it's been done again. We've had this debate I don't know how many times over the last couple of years. It's very duplicative. For some reason, we want to have it just constantly.
So, Carl, I got a great idea. Maybe we should ask all the Jews to apologize for the Holocaust. Would that make sense as well? I mean, that's what this sounds like.
I'm not sure you could draw that comparison.
That's ridiculous. Why should President Obama have to apologize for that?
I don't think he should, but I still don't know that those
the
two
whole
go
notion
together.
that, and it always is, it becomes a Republican-Democrat issue at the end of the day, And what people forget is historically, it was the KKK was a Democratic founded organization, and it was Republicans that passed the 13th Amendment to free the slaves. Okay, and somehow in there, the Republicans have become racist.
Democrats and Republicans today.
And
I don't think that all Republicans are racist. They're
all? Oh, that was very generous of you.
There are no doubt some, but I don't come from that point of view.
I don't understand why we believe that President Barack Obama should be judged as a black American and not the President of the United States.
Or how about
has
the
every
fact
right to apologize
how about
for
the fact
American
that he's
institution.
half white too? Nobody brings that part up. He's
Can
just as
I
much white
say
as he's
something
black.
profound?
Oh boy. Yes, please.
I want to get this on the record because you may never hear it again. Every word that Noah Rothman said and what he first said was right. He got it exactly right.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Good night.
Gotta go.
Tip your waitress. I'll be here all week.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, but it's amazing, though. I mean, when it comes to media now, you can't turn on anything, and particularly CNN, where we're not having the conversation about race. And it's not a conversation. Right. It's like in Spaceballs, where they're not even at ridiculous speed. They go to ludicrous speed. Right. We're at ludicrous speed on this topic at this point.
With Lord Helmet. And the thing is, it's like the black race, the black society needs to get over this. It was over 150 years ago. It's over.
Well,
you
have to be a little cautious about that. It's like asking the Jewish community to get over what happened in Auschwitz.
Right.
It's never going to totally go away.
A legacy that will persist forever.
But it's over.
It is, but it's still never going to go away. It's part of the culture.
But you look at there's many cries, and I'm not saying from the majority of the black community, but there are many cries very loud from the black community for reparations, for apologies, and it's like, guess what? It happened. Get up, shake it off, go on with your life.
But the irony here is that this was what I saw from that video anyway, a very Caucasian-looking New York Times columnist who is offering this up, and I just wonder sometimes, Noah, if folks write these sort of columns because they know it'll get them on TV. Like it's so out there and so
Yeah, we're
outrageous
talking
that
about it.
Probably.
I don't think his column was all that outrageous. I thought it was extremely duplicative.
Okay,
and a
forget
little-
what I
a
said
little
a
boring.
moment ago.
No, just for clarification, I don't necessarily agree with the suggestion that everybody should just get over this thing. It's not something you can just get over, and culturally, this is something that I don't think any of us will be able to understand. That said, we don't have an honest racial conversation in this country. There are very thorny racial issues that we're afraid to have. The Washington Post and the New York Times just beatified Hillary Clinton for delivering anodyne pablum to friendly audiences
He
about the
uses some
nature
great
of
words.
Yeah.
about the
What's
nature
your
of
problem with that? What's your point?
Those are some SAT words.
they are, and they're appropriate in this instance because she was really obnoxious and boring and not doing
Yeah.
anything worth value. Certainly something you would call courageous, but we just bend over to call them courageous because they're just addressing race. It's really silly.
Okay, well, we'll end it on that non-ambiguous note. Coming up next, does a senior advisor in the White House have ties to communism? Does it matter? Stay there.